And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the weekly travel updates with Tanvi Goel of Oz Indian Oz. And of course, we are on to our episode number 54. And thank you so much for everyone for giving us, all that love and connections for all the previous episodes. And today's one is once again going to be a very, very interesting one and very informative, because as you may be aware, there's so many things that have been happening and so many things that have changed and many things which are about to change. So with that, welcome to the show, Tanvi.
Thank you, Messi. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, today is going to be very, very important episode because there are so many changes happened within this week. In fact, yesterday as well, we had really amazing news came up, which we're going to share with you all. So thank you very much for your overwhelming response and send us all those amazing questions. We're going to have some more extra questions even today. Before we go ahead, just a little disclaimer that any discussion we have today are general information only. As you know, rules and regulations can change anytime and it can differ person to person because there are so many things are changing. So just keep that in mind and we'll update you everything else shortly.
And of course, rules keep changing, and whatever is discussed is just general information, and everyone's individual cases will be different. So with individual cases, please do consult Tanvi and she will guide you through the process. Well, right now, I'm quite eager to find out about all the things that's happening. So any update from Australia?
My goodness, there are so many updates, guys, and the biggest news is, I would say, really a happy time for everyone who wanted to see their families back home. And I know so many people have been, through this journey with many of you, hundreds of you, who have been rejected to, get the exemption flying from Australia. So guys, there definitely a big news came up yesterday that now Australian citizens, PR and the kids, they can fly without any exemption, which is really amazing. So you guys can go, and the temporary residents can go from Australia as well. There is no problem. I'll be discussing more things about that, but I thought I'll just start with this exciting news that all the Australians now free to go overseas without exemption. Also want to discuss with you guys about the state-wise, what's happening, bits and pieces of information we have, so you guys have a bit of idea. Now, if you guys, guys must have seen already that New South Wales is going to open borders on 1st of November, just in a few days from now, and Victoria announced as well they're going to open as well on 1st of November. Now, Queensland are saying that 17th of December we might have home quarantine if we reach 80%, and if we can reach 90%, then the borders will open and it will be quarantine free. Now for Tasmania, just got the update today that they are thinking to open from 15th of December. So that's the plan they have, with the state set to welcome all the visitors when border fully reopen. So 15th of December, pretty much the expected date for Tasmania to open. For any other states, still there is no clarity that what's going to happen, but definitely seems like other states as well are considering to reopen or have the quarantine-free options as well. So hopefully everything going to be good. But guys, once again, you guys got the message that it's very, very important for every one of us to get fully vaccinated, because without fully vaccination, you can't go really out, and it's really hard to fly these days. So definitely recommend you guys to get your vaccinations done. About the flights domestically as well, they are really doing really great. There are so many amazing offers. Sometimes I can say close to the date, the fares going crazy, especially in terms of for Qantas. I have seen, sometimes fares going from $200 to $900 close to the date when you're booking, especially from, let's say, Perth to Sydney or Perth to Brisbane or Sydney to Brisbane, because they are very high in demand as well and, really going crazy. But yeah, there are some amazing offers as well. For example, Virgin Australia have again announced their amazing and largest discount offer promotion, and they got 1.7 million fares on sale, which is starting from $49 onwards for the economy light, and for business class they have around $189 onwards. Destination included in promotions are, even there are some international destination as well, which I'll be telling you in international section, but pretty much all the main airports of Australia are covered in that. And this sale is going between 2nd of November till 23rd of June 2022 so far. And all fares include velocity frequent flyer points. Booking can be used as well, and there are so many amazing things are included with that. So Virgin Australia got amazing offers. You can see some Qantas one as well, and Jetstar got amazing fares as well to fly domestically. So yes, definitely a good idea for you guys. While the borders are opening up, you can plan on all domestic if you want to, but I know so many of you are really you were waiting for a long time to fly internationally. And I'll be telling you which country has opened up. But yeah, amazing offers domestically as well at the moment. Another thing is I have seen recently is announcement about airport student deals. So a new partnership between Western Sydney Airport and CSIRO is inviting all the high school students to visit airport construction site and potentially prepare for a career in a major air hub when it opens in 2026. So once operational, at least half of all the jobs at the airport will go to the Western Sydney locals across role types like education, manufacturing, engineering, defense, so many others. So I think it's really amazing initiative to call all the high school students and see and encourage them to go in the travel industry. So that's really amazing as well. Other than that, guys, if you looking for any tours, you can jump on our website as well, which is www.ausindiatravel.com.au under Australian tour section. It's just not you have to buy from there, but if you're looking to fly in future as well for any single city, any city in Australia, New Zealand, you can always jump on our website and you can get the details, specific details about your tour, even you're planning to fly in future as well, and get an idea how you have to really plan your journey domestically. This is what the update we see.
Yes, exciting news, and that's quite good that the students still there in the Western Sydney corridor when they can go and visit the construction site and see the airport and maybe plan for a future career in travel. Wow, that is exciting. Travel industry is one of those ones where it is quite exciting. You get to see all the things, get to travel a lot as well. Well, right now, because today is about all these updates that we're talking about, so what are the updates from Australia to India?
So Australia to India, guys, all those airlines are flying, some more added as well. I already give you fantastic news that you don't need exemption anymore from Australia. You can fly from here. Those who are on temporary residence, you can fly. There is no problem. Just remember, still students and temporary residents can fly from Australia to India, but there is no guarantee when you can come back from India to Australia. As per the recent update, seems like in January mid, pretty much the students and temporary residents and tourists might have option to come back, but at this stage I would say still the students and temporary residents might have to rethink whether you want to fly now. If you can stay for 3 to 6 months, it's fine, but if you want to come back in a month or a couple of months, then you have to probably rethink. Flight wise, Emirates and Qatar are doing absolutely fine. We are booking return fares as well. From November onwards, there are return fares also coming, which is great news. Now, Qantas has also added, their flights from like 3-4 days back. So there are Qantas flight, non-stop flight options as well, Delhi to Sydney or Sydney to Delhi. And in some days, we have Delhi to Melbourne or Melbourne to Delhi options as well. And the best thing is, guys, just 12 hours straight flight, non-stop. Really amazing for parents, but those who are in different states, it might be not that great option for you, because majority of flights are reaching in night, so that means you can't fly. For example, if you're coming Delhi to Sydney, the Sydney flight is reaching in night, then you have to stay there overnight to catch the flight back to Brisbane or any other city. Now, as I mentioned before, your quarantine, it's applicable for all other states as well. So please check that before you take your flights. Now, Emirates is going, Qatar is going, Qantas. These are 3 airlines giving you return flight options. From Australia, Also, we have on certain days some groups of Singapore Airlines, such as on 17th of December and 24th of December. I have top of my mind that flights are there. They are the group flights, which you can book. On certain days, there are some Malaysian Airlines and Etihad group flights also available. Now, guys, coming week is super crazy. Fares are very expensive because of the Diwali approaching, and close to Christmas also fares are very expensive right now. So I would say if you still need to book, please book your flights as soon as possible. If you can go a bit later, or the normal flights I'm talking about really expensive, but if you go, if you can take the group flights, then you might get a cheaper fares as well. So fare-wise, starting $1,095 one way if you're going from Australia to India. If you're looking for return flights, is minimum $2,500 return fare if you're coming till February, or if you can come March or after, from India, then the total return fare you might have $1,900 at the moment. So this seems like a new fare or new normal fare you might expect around $1,900 return at the moment. Basically.
Okay, so the key there was, book ahead, and of course book responsibly and check the times. Always in the peak times, the prices are quite high. So, okay, we have now seen Australia to India. What about from, any update from India, or maybe, flights from India to Australia?
Okay, so before that, let me just tell you some flights as well from Brisbane. Brisbane flights are, the Qantas one is on Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays. And then we have Emirates flights on Tuesday, Fridays and Sundays. Meshi.
Okay, yes, so getting on with all the flights. So, what options do we have from the Sydney?
Yeah. So from Sydney as well, we have Qatar and Emirates going as well in October and November. But in December, we have Qantas flights also flying non-stop one, the one I just discussed to you. So if you're taking Qatar flight, you have Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays and Sundays. And for Emirates flight, we have on Wednesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. There are plenty of flights, but fares are expensive for the coming week.
Okay, having covered Sydney, let's go to Melbourne. So what are the flight options from Melbourne?
So from Melbourne, we have Qatar flights on Wednesday, Thursdays and Fridays these days, and Emirates flights on Wednesday, Thursdays and Saturdays. Fares starting around $1,095, but the long period, the halt can be a little bit longer in case of cheaper flights. If you're going for the less halt options, then the fares are a little bit expensive as well.
Okay, so, having covered Melbourne, let's go to Adelaide. So what's happening in South Australia, Adelaide?
So South Australia got plenty of flights as well, though they are expensive too. So if you want to take a one-stop flight, then Wednesday, Thursdays and Fridays. Same Emirates might have some, one-stop options as well. But so far still I can see two-stop flight, which are Wednesday, Thursdays and Saturdays. If you're flying in November, but if you guys can fly in December, then I have some return options of Qantas connecting from Adelaide as well.
But last and not the least, what about Perth? So what are the updates from Perth?
So Perth got plenty of flights as well. So Qatar flights on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Sundays, and Emirates flight Monday, Tuesday, Friday and Sundays, which means you have at least 5 flights a week from Perth. And these flights are sold out as well pretty much for the coming week. And as I said, you should plan in advance. And even though you're planning to fly in 3 to 6 months, you can still book, and fares are a lot better on that. And Perth fares around $995 onwards if you fly a bit later on non-peak times.
Okay, so now that we have got the flights covered, we can look at updates from India or India to Australia.
So India to Australia, there are many options as well these days. I think I would say so far in last 20 months, last week have been really great with lot of amazing news as well, that now we can see a lot of commercial options also coming up. Emirates has put some more flights in November, which I have seen even just literally $1,700 one way from India to Australia, which people could buy. In fact, they were destination, not just Delhi. I have seen destination from Ahmedabad, from Bombay and other cities as well, which is really quite interesting as well. Other than that, you can have Qatar options, Emirates, Japan Airlines, and there are some other charters as well coming, the one which I mentioned to you last week. So We have even Sri Lankan Airlines charter options coming from India and a Garuda Indonesia. In fact, on certain days, a Malaysian Airlines charter options as well. So fare-wise, guys, from India to Australia, you can see around $1,500 onwards if you can have Qantas or some dates of Emirates, and charter-wise fares starting from $1,900 onwards. Now, flight can be connected from any city to any city in Australia, but majority of flights from India you will see coming to Sydney because Sydney got unlimited caps. Mostly following, a week we might see some flights from Melbourne as well, since they are saying they are going to open borders as well. So, but if you're going to any other city, then you have to see their rules and regulations. For most of other states, you might have to do quarantine. So I would say it's really not urgent for you to come, especially those who are in Queensland. There's a chance that you guys might do home quarantine, then it's better to wait for a while, maybe up till 20th of December or so. There are options. You might book the flights after 20th of December, so you can do home quarantine. But if you come before we reach 80% in Queensland, then you definitely have to do a home quarantine. Have to do a hotel quarantine. So yeah, plenty of options coming from India to Australia. In February onwards, there are so many amazing flights as well, and more airlines to open up. Seems Singapore Airlines thinking to open next month as well, maybe 3-4 weeks from now, and Malaysian Airlines and Sri Lankan Airlines. So many things opening up and amazing fares coming from India to Australia as well. So I would say if you guys ready, then it is definitely the best time to book. We'll see.
Well, it is definitely the best time to book. And of course, moving on, so what are any of the updates locally or nationally? Okay,
so I think we are talking about internationally options. Internationally, Qantas, Virgin Australia and all other airlines as well came up with really amazing offers. So Qantas has brought forward their international travel from Melbourne to early November, following all these new announcements came up. So from Melbourne to London flight will recommence 6 weeks earlier from 6th of November onwards, operating 2 days a week flight and ramping up to more flights from 18th of December. While Melbourne to Singapore flights will now take off from 22nd of November and 3 weeks ahead of the previous schedule they had. And even Jetstar got 4 flights a week from Melbourne to Singapore, and there are so many amazing flights as well. And I can see even 22,000 Qantas staff are able to return back to work in December, which is amazing, and that was 6 months ahead of the expected date. So and I can see there are so many amazing flights they have put in schedule from 6th of December for Sydney to Delhi and back from there as well, like the one I discussed to you guys. So really amazing options Qantas had got at the moment. Next is from Virgin Australia. So Virgin Australia has renewed the AIFC. They have issued the new renewal to them, and they're going to start weekly flights to Samoa routes to Virgin Australia, and also they have allocated 300 more seats to Italy route to resume, even Nadi, Queenstown, and so many other places as well. And also Bali is definitely planned to start in March so far. But as things are going and opening up, seems Bali might start before that as well. So Virgin Australia also got so many amazing deals and marketing campaigns happening for Fiji, Bali and New Zealand as well, which is definitely in plan to start very soon. But yes, really amazing offers. Next is for Singapore. So under the new announcement, those who are fully vaccinated Australians will be able to enter Singapore without quarantine from 8th of November. I think that's the news which so many people have been waiting for. So yes, the time is coming, guys. So Singapore is opening from 8th of November. As long as you have negative COVID test report 48 hours before departure, and also you have taken the COVID test on arrival, you are good to go. So around 14 weekly Singapore-Melbourne flights will resume from next coming Monday on the date where the Victoria is thinking to open borders as well. And that's once again for the fully vaccinated passengers. So remember, you have to be fully vaccinated to fly in all these flights. There are some flights who are allowing people to go, those who are vaccinated, which we'll discuss to you, in maybe next couple of weeks. But it may be possible that these airlines allow you to go, but when you reach to the country, you have to probably do 7 days or 14 days hotel quarantine. Just remember that as well. Next is from Thailand. So Thailand is on radar as well. So Australia has been added a list of countries able to visit Thailand quarantine free from the start of November as well. So Aussie traveler will be able to visit and select locations in Thailand without need of mandatory quarantine, so long as they are arriving by air and they are fully vaccinated and have a medical insurance and can provide a negative test result. So remember, there are some countries who want you to take a medical insurance as well, and Thailand is one of them. So those who don't take generally medical insurance, you might have to consider taking that. Next is from Emirates. So Emirates has announced plan to recruit more than 6,000 staff, which I think we discussed you guys before as well, but since they are really actively looking for people, and we really want to impress people over there, because that means they are really spreading their wings everywhere and getting us so many amazing options, and definitely for that they need more people into it. So Carrier has also restored 90% of its network and on target to reach 70% of pre-pandemic capacity by 31st of December. Roles sort include pilots, ground staff, and all. And EK will offer more than 165,000 seats, after that, once everything settles. So, which is really amazing. So, 70% by 31st of December means we will have really amazing options around the globe with Emirates, which is fantastic. Next is from Qatar. So, Qatar has signed a comprehensive air transport agreement with the European Union, covering rules and standards of flights between Qatar and Europe, but also including the benchmarks of social and environmental protection. So you might see there are so many amazing offers, in the Qatar network to Europe, especially to Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, and they are gradually increasing more capacity rise until 2024. Qatar has also announced that daily flights from Sydney and Melbourne with capacity ramping from 1st of December, and they will deploy 777-300ER plane and route on A350,000 as well from Melbourne, and they will have more frequency from Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth to so many other countries as well. So just remember, from in next around a month or so, we'll have really amazing flights or so many options of Qatar Airways from all major cities of Australia to India, even more. Next is from Scoot. I think Scoot has got really news after a very long time. So they have introduced a series of one-way promotional fares as well for connecting flight via Singapore to Sydney and Melbourne for eligible returning travelers. They are putting their schedules from 1st of November as well, and those who are eligible and require quarantine arrangements to Australia, they still have to needs to check that. But yeah, they have got options from Sydney to Melbourne and from Singapore to Sydney or Melbourne from 1st of November onwards. Though still you have to check their fares and whether the fares are more restrictive because they are low-cost airlines. But yes, they are opening and definitely an option for you to come back. Next up from Cathay Pacific, they have also announced their flights from Sydney to Hong Kong will operate at full capacity from 1st of November. And also they have boosting their availabilities across like 10 weekly flights, Sydney departures for eligible passengers. Cathay Pacific is adding even a lot more, flights for Melbourne as well. So guys, you might have seen for any airlines I have discussed so far, they are pretty much coming to Sydney and Melbourne. It's just because the borders are opening over there, and especially New South Wales already announced that they're going to have unlimited caps. Now, there is one more thing for you to understand is those unlimited caps are only for fully vaccinated passengers. There is some discussion in also happening that those who are unvaccinated might come in certain flights, and there will be a caps for those people in every state. So it's still unvaccinated people might come in certain flights, but there will be a caps on that. And it also depends state-wise. And also, guys, about the vaccination. So they are not all the vaccinations you might have taken in anywhere around the world are approved in Australia. For example, even in India, Covaxin, it seems it's still in discussion. So Covishield seems is still in the plan. And those who are have taken unapproved vaccination, you might have to wait a little bit. I would say it's better because seems other vaccination might come in list as well. But if you guys still fly with unapproved vaccination, then you could be considered as unvaccinated passengers. Will be going in a cap. Fares can be a little bit more. And you will be going to the cap, and quarantine is there for you as well. So please, if you are unvaccinated, check whether that airlines is taking you and what are the rules and regulations for you, because it will be a little bit different. Next is from Hawaii Airlines. They will start their schedule from Sydney to Honolulu as well. Services 5 times a week from 15th of December. The route was suspended last year in March due to the travel restriction imposed because of all the lockdowns. But yes, now there will be 5 times weekly flight from Hawaii. Just a second. And also, guys, cruise lines are doing amazing. They, according to the new announcement yesterday, that all cruise lines might come back even in Australia from next year onwards. So, Viking Hawaii Cruise has already launched 2 new departures of 17 days. Ocean itinerary in Hawaii in December, and their fares around $1,500, $5,500 as well. So there are other cruises as well, putting a lot of different offers which you might check. But yes, exciting, happy news everywhere, and you guys, things all good to fly and plan your journeys. And once again, those who are not vaccinated yet, please do so. It is very important for every one of us to, definitely start a new life and go to the new normal, because without vaccination, situations is not going to get better. But right now, everything looks fantastic, and you guys can pack your bags. Thank you.
Not packing the bags, that's right. Yeah, that cruise liners always look very good. That Viking Hawaii cruise is quite amazing. The 17-day ocean itinerary, yes, looks very good. So the point that you made there was that people really need to get vaccinated, as we heard from in my morning show today as well. The Premier was there, urging everyone that he wants to lift the restrictions even more. But we need to get up to that numbers. And of course, the numbers, when we look at especially Queensland is such a big state, so the metro areas are here, but then also we have the regional areas, so that's probably holding us a little bit back. But hey, exciting news, Tanvi, there's some exciting news happening out there. So, in this kind of times now, that people would be all packing their bags and, doing all sorts of things, they probably need some expert tips. So what would be your tips for people at this point in time?
So guys, the first tip would be book. You can make your plans if you are ready to go. I know you have been waiting for so long. Take the flexible options. I would still recommend not to go for the cheaper options. And there are so many other online websites where you can see there's some availability in cheaper, but book only where you can trust someone who knows in and out and who can rescue you whenever it's required. Because these days, still the plans can change. And I think in the last 2 years, so many people are, keep changing plans now as well. So you need a flexible option, not a cheaper option. And online, still, I would say not recommended. Just book where you can contact the person. Now, always keep checking the rules and regulations. I always recommend you guys to do the map check-in, whether you are doing a domestic flight in Australia, in India, or anywhere around the world. You are doing international flight as well, except for the charters, which are very rare these days. Only India to Australia, some charters are coming. So you can't do the web check-in, but always do the web check-in, because sometimes time can change a little bit here and there and you might miss the flight, which is very, very important. Please always keep checking the latest rules and regulation of the state as well, which form you would need to fill. As I always say, I have all the checklists with me ready, which I always, update every 3-4 days, which I can always send it across to you. You don't need exemption checklist from Australia to India, but you still need India to Australia checklist. And also, what all documents and things you need to do when you go from Australia to India and when you come from India to Australia. Still, those forms remain the same. And there might be a little bit, changes in that, which you always need to know before you depart. So 1 day before your flight, I would always recommend you to check with your travel agent or the airlines that what you need to do. So so you're not missing anything, because there are so many things keep changing as well. So other than that, everything is all good. Those who are taking too many wheelchairs just because parents can't talk. I would probably, request you to, find the companion. Like I said, we do a lot of groups as well where we connect people, because on this airport, still there are less staff because there are so many airlines coming up, so many routes coming up. So please opt for wheelchair only if you need it. And sometimes, if you apply and airlines might not able to give you, so apply only if you need it. And don't forget to always carry some cash with you. When you're flying from here to India, you still have to do a COVID test again at the airport, which costs you generally 800 to 1,000 rupees. You can do that in New Delhi website as well, New Delhi airport website. You can just pre-buy that, or you can just do it on the spot, but always carry some cash or card with you because you might need something as well. So other than that, everything is pretty much covered. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to call us. You can call our hotline 040-440-3264. We have a local number of Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne as well, where you can call. You can go on our Facebook page or my Facebook personal one. You can message. There is no problem with that. You can jump on our website, which is www.auxindiatravel.com.au. You can fill the query form. There's an option for callback. So there are plenty of options, so many amazing platforms where you can contact us, and me and my team is there to help you. Any question you guys may have. Once again, it doesn't matter you guys have booked with us or not, we are there to help you. And I hope you all are happy and excited to hear all this amazing news. If you like this particular episode, please share with your family and friends. You can go on, under this particular video, there is an option to share, and you can copy the link and send to everyone on your WhatsApp, on Facebook, and on the groups, wherever you want to, and make your lovely stories. And don't forget to tag me or Umesh in your stories on your post, so we know that if your friends have any questions, we can always reply your friends on your post as well if you tag us over there. So guys, this is really exciting time. Everything is opening up, and we all have to really come together again to make sure our family and friends, everyone around are aware of the new rules. And that's how we can help, just by sharing it. So thank you very much for listening, and keep sending us your love and your questions. We will see you again next week. Thank you.
And definitely, and this is such a wonderful gift for Diwali. And of course, when they talk about that, things are being planned for the festive season. When they talk about festive season, they talk about Christmas. But for us, for people of Indian origin, festive season begins now, beginning with Navratri and Diwali. And then, of course, we always celebrate the school breaks and the Christmas as well, leading on. So for us, the festive season has begun. So wonderful news for this point in time. And as Tanvi has mentioned, that if you want to watch any of the previous episodes, they are all there. They are available on the Facebook channel, also the YouTube channel. And if you have found this to be informative, and if you'd like to share that with all your friends, please do so. As Tanvi mentioned, that you can copy the link and share it by whichever platform most of your groups are on, be it WhatsApp, Viber, or the file transfer, Telegram, or so many different platforms out there today. So the key point is that all the episodes are there if you want to go and have a look. And if you have any specific questions that you'd like covered, put that in the comment one, and we will cover that for you there as well. And so this is good news, exciting news, wishing everyone all the very best. But always, even if you're traveling locally or internationally, always maintain those health regulations and the things that have been put out. Always just do the right thing from your own side as well, for your sake, for the sake of your family, for the sake of the community at large. Do travel, do go out, do enjoy, but always be responsible. So until next week, it's goodbye. Thank you so much once again, Tanvi.
Thank you so much, everyone. Advance Happy Diwali. Enjoy your time, and we all see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.